Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Mexican food. And today we're gonna make this delicious refried beans, which are used in a lot of different dishes in Mexico. There are around 30 or 40 different dishes you can mix with these refried beans. If you wanna watch the video on how to cook them in the pot, I have a separate video for that. It's gonna be in the description. But if you don't wanna cook them, there is no problem. You can use them in the can. In the US, there is a brand called Goya, and it's very good for this. You can make them with no problem at all. So for these refined beans, we're going to require some chopped white onion and some red peppers, which are called arbol peppers, chiles de arbol. If you cannot find these, you can perfectly use the crushed peppers that are used for pizza. Those flakes are excellent for this. You can add just a tiny bit so that you can get this flavor. We're gonna need some pork lard, so this is it. It's gonna be probably a tablespoon, or in the worst case, if you cannot find, you can use vegetable oil. Also, we're gonna need some salt, and we're gonna need this gadget so that we can crush our beans. So we're gonna make two different kind of refried beans. The first ones are gonna be blended. They're gonna be sort of more of a liquid consistency. So we're gonna pour about half of beans and then about 3/4 of water. You can see the amounts here because if you use less water, you can burn your blender. So be careful and blend them for about 1 minute. Now that we have blended them pretty well, we're going to add in the pot a little bit of oil. Now that the oil is hot, we're going to add the chopped onion and probably 2 or 3 of these red peppers, okay? And once the onion has been well fried, we're going to add our beans, okay? We're gonna talk a little bit of the peppers. Okay, these refried beans are not spicy at all because the pepper stays whole. In this case, it's gonna give it just a little flavor. If you add the flakes, just add a little bit of them because they are gonna be everywhere in your beans. So just add probably 1 teaspoon of them, not too much. And I promise you guys it's not gonna be spicy. So we're gonna make the other kind of refried beans, which are gonna be some sort of like a little bit whole, and we're gonna make the same thing. We're gonna fry our onions and our peppers, okay? This is actually my favorite way of cooking them because the pork lard gives it another level of flavor for this. And if you guys want me to make a video on how to make the pork lard, just let me know in the comments so that I can make it for you. I know it's pretty hard to find, and actually it's not hard to make. So if you guys like me to make that video, please post a comment and I will happily upload it for you guys. And also we can make some chicharrones, which are very delicious. So after the onions have been well fried again, we're gonna add our whole beans and a lot of liquid because after we crush them a little bit, this is gonna get pretty thick. So use a lot of liquid, okay? It's probably gonna be a ratio of 1 to 1. One part of beans and the other part of liquid. So here they are. As you can see, there's a lot of liquid in them. We're gonna wait them to get into a boil. And meanwhile, we're gonna watch the other ones. If you can see them here, they have come into a boil, and I'm gonna taste them, and they need a little bit of salt. Do not add too much salt to this because then if you go over, it's gonna be very hard for you guys to take that extra bit of salt away. So just go slow with the salt and leave them here for another 20 minutes in low temperature and they are gonna be ready. So now these ones have come into a boil and we are gonna crush them with this little gadget here. And if you don't have it, you can use one of these coffee cups. They are very useful for that. So just be careful, because if you're using one of those pans with Teflon, you're gonna scratch them and you're gonna ruin the pan. But if you're using something like this out of clay or stainless steel, there is no problem with that. Or you can get a plastic crusher, and in that case you can use it for a Teflon pan. It's no problem with that, just so that we can take care of our stuff. And look at these. I crushed them up for about 2 or 3 minutes now, and they are getting very, very thick. And as they boil, they're gonna get thicker and thicker. So that is why we need them with a lot of the broth of the same beans. So here they are, and now I'm gonna add the salt and the same thing. Don't go over too much, because in we're gonna leave them another 20 minutes here in low heat. So as they boil, they are gonna be salty with the time. That's why don't go too much with the salt, because as they boil, they are gonna get salty and salty. So get very careful with that. And after 20 minutes, guys, they are finally done. And here I'm gonna refry a tortilla in a little bit of oil, and I'm gonna make something called enfrijolada here in Mexico, and that is why I made the a little bit more version of the liquefied beans. Here they are. We are going to submerge these tortilla in the beans and just fold it, and that is it, guys. I'm gonna make two of these, and I'm gonna serve them up with some sour cream, which is called Mexican crema fresca. It has so different names, but in the US you can find it as sour cream. A little bit of fresh cheese, and also if you want, you can add a little bit of chorizo or cecina, which is gonna give it another different level of flavor. But just like that, as I prepare it, is very, very good. And here we are tasting this delicious dish, as always, my husband and I. And we thank you guys for watching these videos, and I hope you have liked it. And any questions you may have, you can leave me a comment on the comments, and I will gladly try to answer it for you guys. And I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. See you next time.